Diamond is a 2-year project which was funded by the Lifelong Learning Program under the Grundtvig sub-program, which means it is a project addressed to adult learners. The idea of Diamond was actually that of involving in museum activities, scientific museum activities, audiences which are not traditional museum audiences, mainly disadvantaged groups, using an innovative tool such as digital storytelling.
Da vizita Muzeul Național de Istorie Naturală Grigore Antipa.
Me llamo Emilio Arroyo. Soy de Córdoba y tengo 88 años. Me gustaron mucho todos los talleres que trajeron, pero el que más me impresionó fue el de la cabeza de animales.
The digital stories are actually only the final results of a long process, which was actually the core part of the project. We are using the stories to evaluate the process of deep personal engagement.
A fost odată, într-un oraș moldovenesc, Bacău, o familie modestă compusă din 4 persoane. Locuiau într-o casă cu o curte mică și o grădină în care se cultivau cele necesare. Cel mai mic membru al familiei, o fetiță, avea mare pasiune pentru păsări și animale. Această pasiune o încânta, o înveselea, o mulțumea sufletul.
The evaluation in this case is based on the stories and on their contents, and mainly on qualitative indicators, which have been preferred to quantitative ones.
Para mí es muy gratificante trabajar con personas mayores.
Este es mi abuelo. Trabajaba como agricultor en un pequeño pueblo en la montaña.
I heard about the digital storytelling, actually that it has been used for different purposes, dealing with conflicts
and to find some reconciliation, some healing.
È stato effettivamente un corso esaustivo, completamente esaustivo per me.
I learned many things that I couldn't have thought about before coming here.
The way the digital storytelling could be introduced and how people can be involved in this process, it was of a great interest and it was a very valuable knowledge I learned here.
I've learned a lot because the training was not only aimed at doing your own digital story, but it was also aimed at making us aware of what you need to become a facilitator.
How to get people sharing their stories. I certainly myself shared a story that I couldn't imagine telling other people before.
Avendo io qualche difficoltà a esprimere me stesso, è stato anche un modo, diciamo, per raccontarmi un po'.
We learn different methods about how to open the people, because I think it's very important.
I thought the story circles were particularly useful, and the exercises that we did there were really helpful to get stories going and to understand that everyone has a story. It can be really small or it can be really big.
Learnt what sort of exercises you can do to encourage people to think about their stories using a personal object to start with.
It's been an interesting process and a really fulfilling one, because actually the end product is visible. It's this digital story.
It's when your mind constantly sifts through layers of unresolved issues. Sometimes there is a moment of clarity.
When I was a young woman in the 1980s, I lived at a campus in Copenhagen. where 6 young Icelandic families lived like an extended family.
Digital storytelling is a way of working your own memories
through visual images.
Finding those right images, making sure that it all worked together, getting the sequence right.
Find the point of the story.
Utilizzando l'audio, che era una cosa di cui non avevo minimamente idea.
I don't think I'm there yet in terms of all the technology, but I can see certainly what the potential is.
I think I learned that the technical side is not a barrier, because the software and so on is accessible and easy.
It's exciting that you can continue to learn in your life new things, new experiences.
You have your voice and
Everybody has a story, and I think it's a really empowering thing to be able to tell young people that they have something to contribute.
It could be a very good tool in the museum as well.
To explain the meaning or the value of rooms or objects exhibited in the museum.
I think it has great potential for giving people a voice, and people of all different ages and backgrounds. I think you can capture their views very well. And I think it's a good way to actually advocate.
Giving like normal people a way of expressing themselves in this multimedia environment we live today.
I've learned and I will use and I've enjoyed.
What we have discovered actually are a numbers of unexpected results, which we actually found out as maybe the most important results of the project in terms of personal development of participants, in terms of development of intrapersonal, interpersonal social relationships, and also in terms of changing of the institutions themselves.